in your viewing of the show, The Hat, what did it say in the beginning?
It said Barnies.
Barnies? With
Barnies
an E.
with an E.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I saw it with Barnies. Hey guys, welcome to the Nerd Cassette podcast. My name is Gabe.
And I am Gato.
And today we're going to talk about Netflix and they're messing with their viewers. We're talking about Black Mirror, episode 2. And it's called Bête Noire. Gato, have you seen this episode?
So I've seen this episode. I saw it very recently, so it's very fresh in my mind.
Okay, what did you think of it?
So I haven't seen Black Mirror since I think I don't remember if it was season 3 or 4 was the last one that I watched. It was right before Bandersnatch, because I remember hearing all about that and how it's like interactive, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that, and I wanted to give myself time to go through that episode, and I never really got to it. So however long that's been since that episode came out, I haven't seen any Black Mirror stuff. And then I heard that this came out, and I was like, okay, like I want to watch this. And funny enough, I saw episode 2. I haven't seen anything past episode 2.
Yeah, Black Mirror the great thing about Black Mirror is that it's one of those shows where you can watch any of the episodes. You don't have to worry about continuity or all that stuff, at least. Maybe this season, because now they have a part 2 of one of the previous seasons. So you might need to catch up on it, right?
Yeah.
But the thing I love about Black Mirror, and this is the reason why I want to specifically talk about the second episode today, is this Black Mirror really loves to push the boundaries with the streaming service, right? And so you saw Bandersnatch and the interactivity, and that's something new, you know. I mean, Choose Your Own Adventures has always been old, but they did it with a streaming service. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me give some background. Bête Noire, this episode is the concept of the Mandela Effect. Have you heard of that before?
Yes, I have.
Right.
And there's tons of stuff out there about Mandela Effect. So for those that aren't familiar with this term, it's basically when a collective of people remember one thing a certain way, but the reality is that it's a different way. As an example, and the most used example is the Monopoly guy, whether he has a monocle or not.
Yeah.
I think another example that would be kind of popular is what's that brand? The underwear brand?
Fruit of the Loom. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people remember that with a little, what's a cornucopia?
Oh yeah,
like
cornucopia. Yep.
Yeah. They remember the fruit in the cornucopia.
Yeah.
But when you look at the logo, it doesn't have it. Now, before we keep going, I do want to give the disclaimer that there has been images of these things with set things. So a lot of the speculation is that we're looking at logos from like the 90s or the 80s versus what we have now. That's a very, very high possibility. It's also a possibility that somebody just edited in and is like, no, it does exist. But that's kind of like the whole thing, right?
Oh yeah, we misremember things possibly, right?
Yeah.
Berenstain Bears. I always thought it was Berenstain Bears. But apparently it's Berenstain Bears, right? So this episode, and I don't know if we want to get into the spoilers, but the concept was that it touched on this Mandela effect. And so the beauty, going with the whole Bandersnatch idea, Netflix apparently is doing the same thing with its viewers. Okay, Gato, what do you remember in your viewing of the show, The Hat? What did it say in the beginning?
It said Barnies.
Barnies?
Barnies with an E.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I saw it with Barnies. Barnies.
Yeah, no, mine is Bernie's, and I remember it very well because the placement, right?
Yeah.
You and I have an eye for that. I'm not saying that we're like better than anyone else. I'm sure it's on purpose, and I'm sure 99% of you notice this. But the hat, the way it's
Yeah.
placed,
Yeah.
and you see the Bernies on it,
Yeah.
to me, it reminded me of two things. One, Bucky's,
Okay.
the whatever that restaurant is, and for a minute there, I was like, are they trying to do like
Product
a nod at
placement.
like?
Or yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I was thinking of Bernie Sanders
Yeah. Yeah.
for some
Okay. Yeah.
reason, and I was like, are they? But at first, when I first saw the hat, I didn't know that this was going to be like a a main focus of the episode. So you're saying that when you watch this episode, the hat at first
It
said
says Barney. I
Barney's.
100% can tell you it says Barney's. Right?
Wait, so okay, so the hat change. I mean, you're bringing it up, but
Yeah, it changes in the later in the show, right? To
to what?
Bernie's. To Bernie's, but it
Okay,
was first Barney's.
okay.
You're sure it's
Um,
Bernie's?
yeah, for me it was Bernie's.
Because remember, she
I
says,
saw.
the lady, she says, oh no, it's Barney's because it's like animals in a barn, so they're Barney's. What did she say? What did, right?
I
Isn't that the
oh
dialogue in the show?
well, now I don't remember.
I
I
can
think
guarantee it
no no
says,
no no
it
no.
says
I
Barney's.
in mine she just says like it's she says it's Bernie's because my boyfriend works there and he still has that stupid hat and I've looked at it every single day and I know it's Bernie's.
No, she said she looks at it every day because it says Barney's.
Okay. Oh, that's wild.
Right?
Okay.
You
So
really
I
believe it's 100% for you. You really believe it's Barney or Bernie's.
no, it is Bernie's. It's Bernie's
So
and
you're
it
saying it
switches
goes
to
from
Barney's.
Bernie's to Barney's.
Yes.
I'm saying it went from Barney's to Bernie's.
So one of us is crazy.
One of us is crazy. One of us is living in an alternate reality. So here's the cool thing. This is perfect. I am glad actually that you saw Bernie's because people on Netflix have been noticing something is amiss with this episode.
Mm-hmm.
According to the tab, viewers have been seeing different versions. Netflix is airing different versions of the Black Mirror episode, and people have proof, right? So this is a
That
picture,
is wild.
right? So some people are saying they see Barney's, like myself, and other people are saying Bernie's, such as yourself. And people have more proof of this. Let me show you.
Wait, are we gonna go into spoilers here?
I don't think
I
so.
think. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's not. Well, the spoiler is that that there's different
Okay.
versions of it, right?
So mild spoilers.
Mild spoilers, right? There's a post on X, right, saying there's that scene in the show where she is looking it up on herself, right? Looking up the post herself on website when they're in the group setting and they're trying to prove to her that it actually is Bernie's and versus Barney's, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is proof from other people on their versions of viewing. This is the screenshot of when she's on on Google and going on Twitter and seeing the word Barney's. Some people are saying on their version it says Barney's, and some people are saying it's Bernie's.
Interesting, dude. That is so. That's so cool. Honestly, like, is this the only thing? Like, now I'm curious to know what else might be different. in this episode?
You want to see? I have
Because
a screenshot of
there's
that.
oh, you do?
Yeah.
Like of all of the things that are different? Okay, well,
So far, and this. I think this is ongoing because people are still trying to find out. So there's a shot in the show where she's looking at the hat to confirm.
mhm.
Left side says that, and the other side is different. The website that I just showed you previously, and then the last two shots, where I think this is like before the shot where you were saying that it was facing the camera specifically.
Mhm. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I was looking at. I was
This
like,
was one you're talking about, right?
that's yeah. That's
One
what I was
saying,
like, why is it there like that?
right?
Like
And so, to me, when I see this, they filmed it twice. One for
so
the
yeah.
Bernies, one for the Barnies variation. I mean, they could have easily just VFX that, but it's probably cheaper to just do it again,
Just get
right?
the other hat and then just put it there. Um okay. I honestly I like this. And I like that it's like the minor thing because then it means that you're not forcing people into watching the episode again. I'm not saying people don't want to or that they won't or that they can't, but it's nice that it's more of a conversation piece and you're still going to go look at it anyway.
Oh, right.
I don't
Yeah.
know if,
I
or I don't
tried.
know, or are you?
I tried reviewing. I tried like playing it over to see how random it is, but I
Mhm.
kept getting Barney, and
I
I was
wonder if it just attaches to your account.
maybe right.
Yeah.
Or like Britt and I were talking about. It's like maybe it's region by region, and then for some reason for you it's different, which is great because now
Yeah.
it's like we
Yeah.
can talk about it. But man, when I read that online, because I love to like look at the what people like breakdowns of the episode, and then I saw that article. It's like, wait a second. It's like you're telling me there's two versions of this episode. I was like, who's the
Or
other?
are there more?
And there might be more. Okay, apparently. Okay, spoilers. Spoilers. Skip
Okay.
people, right? Skip. Look at the chapter thing and skip if you need to. Apparently, there's two versions. One where. Wait, let me ask you.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see.
What was your ending?
There's
I don't
okay.
know. What happened in the
Okay.
end for you?
In the end, the main girl goes into the house, right? She
Yeah,
sneaks
yeah,
into
yep,
the
yep,
the
yep.
big mansion, hides under the bed, and then finds the necklace. Gets confronted by the girl. She's like, "Come out! I know you've been there." She explains everything,
Okay.
and then she makes the cops appear,
Okay.
and then they have a shootout. Oh no! She grabs the gun and shoots the girl in the head. So the
Which
main
girl?
character shoots
Okay.
the
Okay.
blonde girl in the head. And then there's a shootout between her and the cops.
Okay. All right.
And then she reaches for the necklace. She gets shot, but then she's able to change the reality. And then she turns into an empress of the universe.
Okay. Yeah, that's the same ending.
Same ending.
Apparently, there's a different ending where
Okay.
what's her name? Verity
Verity, that's her name,
shoots Maria.
yeah. Oh.
I don't know. I don't know how that happens, but apparently it's true. I don't know if, and I read this on Reddit, and I don't know if people are just messing with other people are just trolling
Yeah.
to try like to fuel the fire of this whole Mandela effect. But apparently there's a different ending. I don't know if it's true. I mean,
So
viewers, if
that's
you've seen that ending, let us know.
yeah, I want to know if that's true. See, this is what I was wondering cuz like so the hat's one thing and like it's a plot point
Right?
it's the first reveal.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
no. Is it the first reveal? Or is the email the first reveal that things are
Um,
changing?
I think it's the hat being the first reveal. Yeah, that was the hat.
Okay.
Then the
So
email, and then
then,
yeah.
what I wonder is, like, let's say that there's three changes, right? And you
Three
and I obviously
versions.
got,
Okay.
well, three changes. So like the hat's a change.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Apparently the ending, there's a different ending. And then what if like the milk is something else? What if it's not almond milk? What if it's something else?
Soy. Wait. What was your milk?
Um, it's almond. Was yours almond?
I want to say soy, but I think it was
Did
almond.
she,
See now I feel like I'm losing my mind.
right, cause she has a nut allergy.
Oh yeah, the nut allergy was another reveal.
Yeah, and then they do like the she does a little thing, and they're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what's nut allergy?"
Nut. Oh, yeah. That was
I thought that
that
was
was a fun part.
yeah, that was really fun. At that point, I was like, yeah, something.
Something's going on. I
Yeah.
theorized, my first theory was that Verity somehow slipped, the circle thing while she was asleep or something. And so she's living this fake reality simulation where she thinks she's awake. And that's the only explanation I had, that she was able to manipulate the reality of her life. But then I was like, wait a second, how did she get information about the boyfriend and all the other people? There's no way she like got all this data quickly. I mean, she was a smart girl, so maybe she did. But that was my theory, was that she was in a simulation, a fake simulation of her real world. But then,
My first theory
yeah.
is that she was a witch,
Oh, okay.
especially because like when they pull what's the main character's name?
Maria, I think. Yeah.
Maria. Yeah, when they pull Maria in with the CEO or
Yeah.
whatever the boss is, and they're like, "This is the wizard of this," and she's like, "Well, the wizard's
Oh,
a male,
yeah.
and the female
Yeah.
is a witch."
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe that's foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So when all of these things start happening, I'm like, "This is witchcraft." And then she was like, rubbing her pendant, and I was like, she's a witch. Um, but then it took a completely different turn, and that
Yeah.
was pretty awesome.
I was so surprised by that ending. I mean, like the only explanation I had was the simulation, right? Fake simulation of her world. And then I was like, that's the only ending they could do. And I was like totally surprised that they took this other direction. And I was like, holy smokes, that was weird.
Yeah.
Like I was really confused by that at the same time. So
By the ending?
yeah, how I guess more spoilers, right? Spoiler. How how did the pendant work? If we're talking about switching, so this pendant, right? The pendant thing, she's able to like switch realities essentially using quantum computing. And there was a line where she says she changed the corporal frequency of them, where they're able to switch realities within a second. So the computers would find an alternate reality, considering that there's infinite possibilities of infinite realities. And this computer is able to switch both of these people like in really quickly. And I was like, how does that work? Like, how did she get all the pictures of her different realities in the same reality?
Oh, that's an interesting point. Well, because her reality changes because she says that she makes it so that in every version she's always right.
Yeah.
So she's always changing the course. So is it possible that it's not that she's jumping between dimensions, but rather the timeline that she's in keeps getting altered? So like for example, like me right now, I do my little rub on my necklace and I
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, I'm an astronaut." And then I go and I take my picture because everybody knows that I'm an astronaut. And then I get it printed and stuff like that. And then I have my picture, but I'm like, actually, from now on, I want to go back to the normal reality. but I still have this picture. And so then this alternate reality like merges with it. And so therefore everything that's happened so far has happened. But now the reality is that she was never an astronaut, but that she has a picture of her as an astronaut.
See, that's where it breaks down for me, because that implies, well, I guess it makes sense because she's able to bring someone else into this reality, right? If she's able to bring Maria along with her in the reality, then I guess it's possible to bring clothing. I always assume that because there's an infinite amount of possibilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking there's some possible reality where yes, she was dating Harry Styles. Yes, she was an astronaut, and yes, she was a gymnast, right? And she was on the cover of Vogue magazine in this reality. That's what I thought it was. But then that doesn't make sense, because if you're an astronaut, all your time is like spent on being an astronaut, and that means some of the other truths in that reality probably didn't make sense, like gymnastics, right? Can you be a gymnast and an astronaut? Can someone in a lifetime be good at gymnastics as well? I guess an astronaut, right?
Well, I mean, I guess in a sense, what she's manipulating is the brains of people. Okay, maybe not. This is making my head hurt.
I know, right? And we're so tired.
Because it's like, she said something about like changing the consciousness onto like an alternate
corporal frequency is what they're
corporal frequency. So that means that their memories are being changed, but literally. But also, no, because at the end she does rub the pendant and she's like, the police are here. So she's literally making the police appear, unless that by her saying, hey, the police are here, because in this reality that we're going into right now,
yeah,
what happened before is that the boyfriend called the cops and they're on their way.
Yeah. Or
so
or the cops were just there by happenstance. Right? Like that's a possibility, right? And that's where it gets confusing, because if anything's possible, anything is possible.
But then at the very end, when Maria gets the necklace and she's like, the two guys, you bow to me because I'm the Empress, and then everything around her changes.
Yeah. That's where it kind of breaks down for me.
So again, we're looking at, I don't know.
Like I don't. Weird. I mean, if you could explain it, you could explain it saying, in this reality where she says, you bow down for me, or you work for me.
You work for me and you serve me.
Right.
And something else.
The chain of events could have been, and we don't see it. The chain of events could be that the cops shot her, right? And then she used, apparently in this reality, she owns the police. She had all the money and owns the police. And then somehow in that moment, they're like, yes, we serve you and bow down to you, right? That could be a possibility.
Wait, but she does get shot, and then she's not shot anymore. So
she's dead in that
reality.
She's dead in that reality. There's multiple realities where Verity is dead, but there's different possibilities of how she died, of who she was shot by.
Oh no, I mean Maria.
Oh, Maria. Okay.
So when Maria jumps for the pendant, she gets shot.
Yeah.
And as she's bleeding, she gets the necklace, and then that's when she's like, hey, the necklace actually like obeys me. And then it activates, and then she's like, the Verity shot herself, and both cops saw it, and then they're like, oh yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
but then at one point, she's not shot anymore.
Because
So,
it's a reality where she wasn't shot,
exactly.
right? Okay, that makes sense. So that means she takes over the brain. So at any moment, if this is true, someone could just easily take over you or take over me, and you wouldn't even know it. Well, you could if I acted differently, or I don't know, no, because that would be consistent with how you've seen me throughout the whole life. It's not like I'm so confused.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, unless you say that the other person doesn't, or that they do know what's going on, then the reality is that those two officers would always have been serving her
Yes.
no
Yeah.
matter what.
Yep. 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 Okay, that makes sense. So it's the idea of this parallel. Like yeah, like I knew that there was this idea of the multiverse or whatever, of like
Mhm.
us being in different instances of realities all at the same time. But that's just I did not expect the Black Mirror to go that route.
I think Black Mirror has stepped it up
Oh
because
yeah,
that was a
man.
really good episode.
Yeah, the
And I
first
feel
one
like
is really good too.
it's
When
okay.
you get a
So
chance to watch that one.
I haven't actually seen the first one, but I will watch it very soon.
It's a little
There's just so
mind.
many
It's not as
shows.
mind bending, right?
Hmm.
But it's depressing.
I love me a good depressed show.
Yeah.
I really do. I like all shows as long as it has a good story.
Right.
I'm good with it. Um, can we talk about the technical side of this episode? Because there's a couple
Yes.
of things that I
Yes.
noticed
Yep.
that I wonder if it was like it's all in my head or if it was done on purpose. But the premise of this show of this episode is that they work for um it's not a marketing team, but it's a what do you call it? They make products. Um
They make vegan food, right?
yes, like
Vegan
snacks, like
sweets, yeah, or snacks,
yeah.
yeah. Yep.
But um again, I don't know if this is just all in my head, if it was made on purpose or not. Tell me what you think. But the first few scenes, the lighting and the camera movement looked a lot like a commercial.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like I don't know what it was, but like I was watching it, right? Like the first scene when they're at the house and she's talking to her boyfriend and you see the hat and everything.
Yeah.
The camera movement and the way that the house was lit, it reminded me of like a Folgers coffee commercial.
Oh man. You're
And
gonna get a
then
kick out of the first episode then. I'm gonna tell you that.
and then there's the other scene when they're oh shoot, what were they doing? I think it might have been in the office. And same thing with the camera movements, the way the lighting was going on and the interactions. I was like, I feel like I'm watching a commercial that was turned into a show. Like a story within the world of the commercial.
Okay.
And again, I don't know if that was made on purpose or if it was just kind of like I'm way too in my own head. Um, but it felt like that for at first, and then it was fine. But I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I didn't it's interesting because I didn't really the only times I noticed that it was very producty was the dates when they would show the day of the week and that very
Oh
stark
yeah,
organ tone.
hmm
Like at first I was like, what is going
Monday.
on here? It was like a very out of place thing. Uh and then it started making sense a bit because each day was like a different step of creating this chocolate, right? And it kind of plays into the idea of Verity was slowly preparing this very rich meal of torturing Maria, and I guess it paid off. But I mean, she ended up dying. But yeah, I didn't. It was weird. The hat was weird. I knew they were trying to do something with it. I didn't know that one shot. There's a shot where it's, I think, their side, and then you see them hugging, and the hat is like facing directly to the camera.
Mhm.
That was one that like stood out to me. I was like, why are they showing that? But
it was interesting. I don't know. I liked it. There's been some episodes that look maybe a little too dark. And maybe that's why. Commercials are usually like brighter
right, yeah,
than like
yeah,
TV shows and stuff like that. And I feel like a lot of the Black Mirror episodes, they tend to be very contrasty. Like there's a lot of shadows. Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I think I remember correctly. Man, it's like this episode, right? Remembering it wrong.
yeah.
But looking at this, I'm looking at the shadows, and everything just looks a little bit brighter. And so that's why I was like, this kind of looks a little
Commercial.
different. So I don't know if it was made on purpose. You know, like this is the type of world that they're living in, so therefore we get a little bit of that feel, and then it goes into the more dramatic. But yeah,
Yeah, no, and the whole idea of the Mandela effect was just perfect. And I was like, the episode was like, it was good. It wasn't as good as the first one.
mm.
And then, and the next one you'll probably like because it's related to filmmaking. So you'll like that one. Um, but the idea that they took this extra step to take it outside of the show and make it like this IRL thing, interactive thing. Oh, I love that they do that. They did that with Bandersnatch, and now they're doing it with this, and it's just like a detail that you don't need to know, but I love it. I love it. I'd say maybe the episode isn't high on there, but the fact that it's doing something new with it, that's what takes it to the next level for me.
Yeah, no, I love that they're doing this kind of stuff, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the episodes. Did you watch all of them already?
No, we just finished episode 3, so.
Okay.
And we're taking it slow because I don't want to watch 2 episodes in one day because I want to digest the concepts that they show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
one of those shows you can binge. And I was thinking, let's watch one every week, and I was like, no, I can't wait.
It has to be one a day.
One a day. I can't wait for the next episode. So
Hey, at least shows these days, aside from like maybe Netflix, and
yeah,
even that, I think Netflix does it sometimes, but I feel like most streaming services, when a new show comes out, they're going back to like one episode a week
I've noticed that. Yeah,
instead of releasing them all at
yeah,
once. And I appreciate that because I think like we are so used to like, oh, everything's available that you can just binge watch. But like you said, it you don't have time to process what you
yeah.
watched before you move on to the next episode. And I think maybe not for everyone and maybe not for every show, but I think that kind of ruins the experience a little bit when you're
I
just
think so.
consuming.
Yep.
So, one a day, I think it's good. One a week, I feel like we already have enough shows that will do one episode a week, like The Last of Us.
Yes.
Um,
Oh
so
man. There's so many good shows that are like coming out. We just got Black Mirror, Last of Us, and I'm still watching The Bear, which is another good show. So I'm like,
mhm.
I'm like
Oh,
set. I still got Andor to finish.
yeah, okay, but how much further are you into The Bear?
The Bear. Let's see, where are we? I don't remember. They just the 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 uh, the main chef. What's his name again? Carmi
Carmi.
and Sydney kind of had a
Hmm.
falling out because I guess Carmi had like a date and she went to go out and eat and all this stuff and do research, and they tore down a wall or something that she was not informed of for the renovations. I think that's the last episode I saw.
Was that episode 5?
I don't know. I don't keep track of the number of the
Because
episodes.
you saw the episode of Marcus in Denmark, right?
No, I did not.
Whoops.
Cool. That sounds awesome. That's fine.
Okay, so you're probably hmm.
I think I'm still in the beginning of season 2.
Yeah, see, you're probably episode 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Dude, you gotta get
I know.
to 6 at least.
Okay. All right.
Once you get to 6, stop there and we'll talk about that, and then we can move on to the rest of it.
Shoot.
And then we yeah,
Okay.
go to 6 and then watch the other 4, and then we'll talk about the last 4 episodes.
The last
'Cause it's
4
good.
episodes. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
'Cause
It's
it
a really good
is
show. It's just a very good show. Oh, that one shot. Did we talk about that yet?
the one shot.
Of the bear? The one shot they had?
No, because you haven't gotten to it, have you?
Yeah, I got to that one already. Of season 1. Season 1, episode 7, I think. Where they got the new printing machine, the new it's like just a one shot in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
There's another one?
Uh,
Are you saying there's another one?
Oh shit. Dude, I feel like freaking Tom Holland just spoiling everything.
No, it's fine. No, that makes me look forward to it then. But that one shot was pretty cool.
They're
It's-
really good at the one shots.
Yeah. It's funny because this is us just coming off of Adolescence. So
Mhm.
I mean, it's not as technically complex as Adolescence, but from a story standpoint, it was really great.
It's a different type of one shot because
Yeah.
Adolescence is incredible because they're hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
And they shoot from beginning to end, and it's a real one shot. With the bear, I mean, yeah, it's a one shot. They're real one shots,
Yep.
as far as I can tell. But I feel like I'm not trying to say that one's better than the other. I think Adolescence, it's more of like it's a cool factor, but the story is still like it's a story and it's shot in one shot.
Yeah.
With the bear, the one shots add to the tension, to the suspense, to the mystery, to everything. Like the stress of being in the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very. I think it's a little more immersive than Adolescence is, but the bear is also typically under 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Whereas Adolescence is like an hour long and it takes you all over the place. So
Right.
they're just very different. They're both really awesome.
Yeah. One is
Can-
technically impressive, right?
Mhm.
The other one is just very immersive
Yes.
because you're there with them, right? And you get the
Mhm.
sense of what it's like being in a kitchen.
Oh, man, I can't wait for you to get to that other one shot.
Ooh, all right, I'm excited because they had another one too at the. I think when he was at the self-help group where he's talking about
Oh,
his
the long
the
monologue.
very long monologue. I was like, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So they do it a lot, which is crazy. Which is good. I mean,
It's good because like you started with this show and the first episode is so chaotic. It's
yeah,
so dirty.
Yeah.
The colors, everything about the way it's filmed,
Yeah.
it complements the story.
Oh yeah.
And as you follow it and then you keep going into what they're creating, then the filming goes along with it and it becomes more steady. and bright, and like things just change. Um,
No, it's I
yeah.
love how they
Oh my
show,
gosh, yeah.
especially when they shoot the food prep scenes.
Mm,
It just feels like you're watching like an HGTV, not HGTV, like the Food Network type thing. Like it's so shot
mm-hmm.
so well, and it makes it look so delicious,
It does.
right? Um, I do have a question though. For
Mm,
those that are watching The Bear, and those are chefs, uh, the scene where Sydney's just going out and eating a lot of food. Like, is that something chefs do? Just go out and eat? And are you eating them? Are you finishing the meal? Or are you just like taking a couple bites and then you're like, all right, off to the next place and take a couple more bites?
mm.
Because I was thinking in that montage where she's like going to different places, like she eats like 5 or 6 times. I'm like, holy smokes. How are you not full from eating the previous meal? Like I was thinking
Right.
these were different days, and then it goes to the restaurant where she's looking at the same text that she sent Carmi. I was like, wait, this is the same day. And you're telling me
Hmm.
she ate all that meals? So I don't know. I guess chefs, maybe you just take 2 bites and then you take it home or throw it away. I don't know.
That's
Explain
a
to
really
me
good
how that
question.
works. I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to know too. So if there's any chefs, please let us know. Comment
Yeah.
section below. Just let us know if that's true.
Yeah.
That's how you do things or not, or if it's just for the sake of the show.
Yeah. Was that just for illustrative, or I would imagine they just take a couple bites to taste it, but then you're not, I don't know.
That
I
seems
feel,
wasteful, but who
I feel like
knows?
it's a whole different world. The cooking world, like this
Yeah.
show is making me realize, wow, the cooking world is like different. It's just a whole different world
Hmm.
involved. So it's really cool
Yeah,
to see that.
it's crazy. More respect to cooks and chefs and everyone that
Right.
works in a kitchen.
Yeah.
For real. If it's anything, if this is anything close to what it really is in real life, mad respect.
Right. I totally agree.
But yes, we definitely let's have a bear episode. Um,
Once I get to
cause
episode 6. Yeah.
yes, cause we need to talk about it.
For reals. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I just want to say Black Mirror episode 2 Netflix, you're doing great stuff, right? Episode 1, you should probably be more self-aware of what that episode's about. You'll understand what I'm talking about, Gato, when you watch
Okay.
it.
All right.
But I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast, Nerd Cassette. If you have any questions, tell us what your thoughts of episode 2 of Black Mirror or Black Mirror in general. Let us know and leave a comment. While you're there, hit like and subscribe, share with your friends. Tell us what you thought of uh, this format or what else you would want us to talk about. But yeah, thanks for joining us. The Nerd Cassette podcast. My name is Gabe.
And I'm Gato.
This is Gato. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
Bye.